have always demonstrated a heart for direct selling. When we met you in the midst of a tornado warning in the barbershop, you immediately offered to write insurance for us.
That's true.
Now,
they were all huddled down there in the barbershop, and there wasn't going to be any tornado, so I told them if they give me $1, they can go upstairs, and if anything happened to them, I'd pay them, I forget, $1 million or something of the sort.
Now, we see with the rise of Amazon.com and others a shift from push marketing to pull marketing, from millions of catalogs having been sent out in the past to now consumers searching on what they are looking for. What is your take on how this shift from push to pull marketing will affect our companies?
Well, Norman, the development you refer to is huge. I mean, really huge. And it isn't just Amazon, but Amazon is a huge part of it. And what they've accomplished in a fairly short period of time and continue to accomplish is remarkable. The number of satisfied customers they've developed. And we don't make any decision involving even the manufacturing of goods, the retailing, whatever it is, without thinking long and hard about what the world will look like in 5 or 10 or 20 years with that powerful trend, really hugely powerful trend that you just described. So we don't look at that as something where we're going to try and beat them at their own game. You know, they're better than we are at that. And so Charlie and I are not going to out Bezos by a long shot. But we are going to think about that. It does not worry us, obviously, with the precision cast. But it doesn't worry us in terms of the overwhelming majority of our businesses. But it is a huge economic trend that 20 years ago was not on anybody's radar screen, and lately has been on everybody's radar screen, and many of them have not, and including us in a few areas, have not figured the way to either participate in it or to counter it. The Geico is a good example of a company that, in an industry that had to adjust to change, and some people made the change better than others. We were slow on the internet. The phone had worked so well for us, and this traditional advertising, and the phone had worked so well that there's always a resistance to think about new possibilities. When we saw what was happening on the internet, we jumped in with both feet, and with mobile and whatever. But there are the nature of capitalism is somebody's always trying to figure, if you've got a good business, they're always trying to figure out how to take it away from you and improve on it. And the effect, I would say, just of Amazon, but others that are playing the same game, the effect on industry, the full effect is far from having been seen. I mean, it is a big force, and it already has disrupted plenty of people, and it will disrupt more. I think Berkshire is quite well situated. For one thing, one big advantage we have is we didn't ever see ourselves as starting out in one industry. I mean, we went into department stores, but we didn't think of ourselves as department. We didn't think of ourselves as steel guys or tire guys or anything of that sort. So we've thought of ourselves as having capital to allocate. If you start with a given industry focus and you spend your whole time working on a way to make a better tire or whatever it may be, I think it's hard to have the flexibility of mind that you have if you just think you have a hopefully large and growing pile of capital, and trying to figure out what is the best next move that you can make with that capital. And I think we do have a real advantage that way. But I think Amazon's got a real advantage too, and this intense focus on having, hundreds of millions of generally very happy customers getting very quick delivery of something that they want to get promptly, and they want to shop the way they shop. And if I owned a bunch of shopping malls or something like that, I would be thinking plenty hard about what they might look like 10 or 20 years from now. Charlie?
Well, I would say that we failed so thoroughly in retailing when we were young that we pretty well avoided the worst troubles when we were old. I think net Berkshire has been helped by the internet. The help at GEICO has been enormous, and it's contributed greatly to the huge increase in market share. And our biggest retailers are so strong that they'll be among the last people to have troubles from Amazon.
I didn't get that dollar from you, Norman, actually, after I gave you that wonderful advice.